I've been in Nairobi for the last 4 years, and I finally made the decision to actually start my own business. But here's the catch. Realistically speaking, we don't have endless funding for a business that's not going to be making money. So, realistically speaking, I've actually given myself between 6 and 8 months to make this work.
No way.
I've been in Nairobi for the last 4 years, and I finally made the decision to actually start my own business. Not necessarily because the time is right and everything is perfect. I think I've had a few requirements and a few pieces that I needed to check off before I actually made this particular decision. And I think we're there. We're finally there, man. We have some really big business experience managing digital teams across 39 markets in Africa. And I've been doing this for near on 2 decades now. So it's quite a bit of experience I have. Outside of that, I have a lot of experience running performance marketing campaigns. I've tried a few small businesses, more online shops, etc., to actually see whether I can actually start, learn quite a few things. And through that learning, I actually made a list of things that I do need to check off. And I think financial backing was one of them. And we actually have that checked off now. So we finally, I think, in a place where we can start a business. I'm not necessarily documenting this journey because I think I'm at the forefront of what we're doing, but I do think we're at the beginning. And I do think that there's quite a lot that you can actually, that I can teach and I can actually learn as I go through this journey, especially now that I have quite a bit more experience under my wings. For those who don't know, digital advertising is what I do. What I spent most of my life doing. I've worked in big business, like I mentioned earlier, WPP, 39 different markets that I was actually doing digital advertising. So quite a vast variety of brands and businesses and challenges that I've had to take on. But outside of that, I think my foundation, having been in Cape Town before, working for one of what I believe was one of the best actual advertising agencies on the continent, Sprout Performance Marketers, where I actually did actual proper nitty-gritty on the ground hardcore performance marketing, mostly for First National Bank, FNB, after which we actually won the whole group and actually took them on. But I'll get into all of that. At some point, I actually ended up moving to Joburg. It was actually during COVID that I ended up moving to Joburg because I just needed a little bit of a change from Cape Town. I'm still with the same company. And it was actually amazing because my decision actually ended up paying off and I ended up meeting my wife in Joburg. And since then, quite a lot has happened, man. I actually got married. I became an instant dad. I have an 11-year-old son. He's absolutely amazing. Quite a lot of challenge um, being an instant dad, especially to him, but he's an absolutely amazing boy. And I think I'll actually talk a little bit on that a little bit later. I also have a 10-month-old baby now. I'm actually absolutely excited. She's growing so fast and so much to learn in parenting, actually going through this for the first time. So, geez, quite a lot. But about 4 years ago, I actually decided that I'm going to be moving to Nairobi, and it's been absolutely amazing. The people are amazing. It's such a hustle culture where everybody is just trying to better themselves, man. Everybody's just trying to get to the next. Everybody's hustling, everybody's trying to work together. It's absolutely amazing to see. And quite a bit of a shock because this is like real Africa. It's not like South Africa where it's all glamorous and it feels like South Africa is the Europe of Africa to a certain extent. I come from Namibia. Namibia, not too different from South Africa, I think. It's just like a mini South Africa to a certain extent. But here, nitty gritty, hustle bustle. It's a different way of living, and I've learned quite a lot, and I'll share quite a lot as I go. I've been learning quite a lot about the market, about Africa, greater Africa. And I think the biggest mistake quite a lot of people make is when they're sitting in South Africa thinking that South Africa is representative of the whole of Africa. And that's not necessarily always the case. There's quite a lot that I think if you actually talk to people from South Africa who are in the agency world, trying to execute for the continent, they find quite a lot of challenges. And I think if they put their arrogance aside a little bit, you'll actually find that there's quite a lot of nuance that needs to be taken into account. So I've learned that, built experience, and I think I'm really ready to take the leap. It's really exciting, and I'll share quite a lot more as I go. But yeah, man, like I'm actually starting a performance marketing business. That's what our next chapter is and what all of this is going to be about. I pitched the idea back home, and like I said, funding was quite a big one for me from a learnings perspective in trying to start small businesses, etc. So I pitched the idea to a few people to actually start a actual performance marketing business in East Africa and Greater Africa to a certain extent. And I actually got a few people who were interested and finally got somebody who bid. I'll share a lot more as we go, but really excited that we're actually getting to build. Exciting times to come. I'll talk you guys through what my actual pitch process was to actually try and secure some funding. But it's not comfortable. And that's the one thing that I do have to put out there. It's not comfortable. It's a chance that we're getting to actually build something with a broader team. It's not just me. I pitched the idea, obviously, for us to get going, but it's not just me. I have a little bit of a backing behind me. So it's good. I'm really excited. But here's the catch. Realistically speaking, we don't have endless funding for a business that's not going to be making money. So realistically speaking, I've actually given myself between 6 and 8 months to make this work. I believe that it will work. It has to work. We'll push it and we'll see what actually comes from it. Even this documenting, geez, it feels so weird. I have to say, it feels so weird to be documenting, actually talking to the camera about this. And it's not going to be perfect, but we're going to be building as we go. I'm going to be documenting this journey and it'll actually be really sick. Outside of just building an advertising agency, I think for the longest time, and my wife keeps reminding me that I've been talking her ear off about this thing, I've been wanting to teach. So I'm using the opportunity and the step change to actually take up the opportunity to teach, take up as much teaching gigs as I can, but ultimately build up to a bit of an academy. Like in my mind, it's a performance academy where I'll be able to teach people real world performance marketing from a digital perspective, using the agency that we are building, but also building a bit of an academy on the side. I'm hoping that we'll actually be able to find somebody to back us from a certifications perspective and actually building a proper academy eventually. Like I come from a space where, like for example, in South Africa, you have AAA, you have red and yellow, you have what are some of the other Vega? I actually went to Vega. How could I forget that? You have some actually really good advertising schools, but even then, even for them, I feel like digital advertising has moved on so much that we actually need to start teaching performance marketing. And I'll get into the why performance marketing and all of that in episodes to come. To be fair, this is only part one of episode one, so we'll actually be building as we go. If it doesn't work, we go back to a 9 to 5, but I don't really want to go back to a 9 to 5. If I have to speak very openly and honestly, I really have no want to go back to a 9 to 5. So if it doesn't work out, we'll definitely try again and push again, see what we actually learn from this to take on the next. But the why, like I think the why for me is important, and like for most people and most content that I've consumed, for people who say that they've started businesses and became successful over time, etc. You always have to have a bit of a why. Why are you doing this thing? Like when you actually look back at it, why? And for me, it's my family. Realistically speaking, I have a really new young family. And outside of teaching my kids the 9 to 5 life, which we were taught and everybody has been taught, I'm kind of trying to do it slightly differently, where I'm taking the actual education that I had and the 9 to 5 experience that I've actually gained to then take this leap to start a business. So not necessarily just leaping into business on blind faith, a little bit of a best of both worlds, I think, to a certain extent. And outside of that, for me, teaching them that it's okay to take a risk, try things, express yourself and actually see if you can. If you can make it work, and if not, hopefully I'll be able to build a bit of a safety net for them. But if not, it's okay. You'll actually dust yourself off and actually try again. It's okay. If it works, I leave my family something to build on and a little bit of a legacy. But yeah, if it doesn't work, we reset and we go again. Like I said, and I just want to touch on this one, and it's a very big one for people who are actually starting business. And like I said, like having tried business before, it is quite a bit of an important one for you to actually know that I have tried to do business before. I've built, and like because my background is in brand building and management and brand leadership, I build brands and I love just ideating and coming up with brands and stuff. So I've tried business in Namibia before. I've tried an e-commerce store called tenga.com.na, which will definitely come back at some point if this actually works and I get a little bit of money, because that brand, I absolutely love it. It was one of my first, and at some point I'll actually show you guys pictures. I won't show you guys pictures up front. Outside of that, I've in Kenya, when I actually got here, tried a few different other businesses that I will definitely be pushing. I don't want to say their names right now because I don't want people to just go and jump on and actually take them over and X, Y, and Z. But we'll see. We'll find a way to actually build them. But the biggest downfall for me was funding. Absolutely, try and get some funding and actually move with a little bit of backing if you can. Yes, I get not everybody's in that space, and like I absolutely admire people who can actually just make the leap and make it work and start from base zero. But yeah, a little bit of backing does go a long way. So I do want to make it very clear that I'm starting this off not from zero. So everything that you're going to be seeing, there is a little bit of backing, and I will talk to that. It's not like I have millions and millions and millions just stockpiled. Like I said, we do have a little bit of a time crunch. So 6 to 8 months, we're giving ourselves to actually make this work. Right, our reality. Today, yes, brand all figured out, still have to pay for the designs, but we will actually get that over the line. And then I can actually show you guys the actual final brand that I have come up with for this and the name of it, I guess. But in the interim, I'm trying to sort out my visa. So I have to leave the country. I have to leave Kenya at some point, which I will do. I think I talked to the company and I have about a month before I have to leave. So sorting out a few pieces, and then I'll actually have to leave the country and come back. But not it does add a level of stress because yes, obviously you have to sort the family out for visas and all of that. But I guess I'll take you guys on the journey also, as we go. But it should be a really lekker one, man. So there's quite a bit of pressure, but I think for myself, documenting this is a way for me to hold myself accountable, teach, actually document the journey, and I absolutely expect that this will actually work and it will become something. So at some point, I'll actually show you guys the team that I have to build. There's quite a lot of uncertainty in the future, I guess. But we'll work around it and we'll actually figure it out. We'll absolutely figure it out. There's no two ways about it. I'm excited. Like I was supposed to shoot this video in the morning. I obviously had a little bit of a day. It was quite crazy sending off a few decks and pieces. So I'm doing this in the evening. Most of my videos will be shot in the evening. So I'm really sorry, guys. Just follow the journey. Content will become better. Lighting will become better. Sound will become better. Editing will become better. Eventually, hopefully, we can actually get somebody to do the editing for us. But for now, it's me who's doing it. I'm really excited. Please join me for my journey. I think I finally found a space and a little bit of a niche that I want to go into. Join me for my journey. I hope I can teach. And if anything, even if it's not digital advertising, just growing a little bit of a career, growing a business, me showing you guys the team that I have to build. We're getting some office space. Guys, it's going to be absolutely exciting. And I think this is a slightly different way of doing it. Outside of just documenting the journey, I hope that we can actually teach quite a few people, move the industry forward, and actually get a few clients of just the content that we create. I sell this digital advertising thing. I am trying to actually put myself in the space and actually use the space to sell the business that I'm building. And this is day one, man. Welcome. I look forward to the chats. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, share with your friends. Yes, it's a little bit rough right now, but do remember to also check back because it's going to be absolutely amazing pieces that we're going to be doing outside of just the studio. Yeah, there's going to be a few pieces. Peace. No way.